Well, this just in. I have two filings here for you that I want to talk about. One is Jack Smith, who in the filing says that he's going to release the classified confidential report related to Donald Trump's cases to the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. Doesn't imbue me with confidence that we're going to end up seeing it, because Merrick Garland has been a failure of an Attorney General. But Donald Trump is already on the case, already trying to squelch this, already trying to quash this, already trying to ensure that this report does not see the light of day. The first I have here is this particular filing. This was a 3-page filing from Jack Smith, where he talks about his release of this report. I guess we'll just talk about what my conclusions are and what yours might be on the other side. And then I've got a filing from the Trump lawyers trying to put the kibosh on this. But first, let me read from this Jack Smith one. The special counsel's office is working to finalize a 2-volume confidential report to the Attorney General explaining the special counsel's prosecution decisions. The Attorney General will decide whether any portion of the report should be released to the public. 1 volume of the report pertains to this case. The Attorney General has not yet determined how to handle the report volume pertaining to this case, about which the parties were conferring at the time the defendants filed the motion. But the department can commit that the Attorney General will not release that volume to the public, if he does at all, before Friday, January 10th, 2025 at 10 a.m. The special counsel will not transmit that volume to the Attorney General before 1 p.m. on today, January 7th, 2025. The government will file a response to the defendant's motion no later than January 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. And the motion that they're talking about is this particular one, which is Donald Trump preparing his formal intervention, we should say, to block Jack Smith's efforts to make this report public. His ostensible efforts to make it public. We don't know what's in these people's minds. Robert Mueller failed us relative to bringing charges against Donald Trump. A lot of this probably could have been done, settled, finalized if Robert Mueller had done fully his job. We missed out on that opportunity, though, didn't we? We missed out on the opportunity after impeachment 1 and acquittal number 1 in the Senate. We missed out after impeachment number 2 and acquittal number 2 in the Senate. And we've missed out because of the fecklessness and I don't want to say laziness, that's more of me putting some color on it, but the ineffectual manner with which the Attorney General Merrick Garland has handled this. The late to the party. He could have started this a year earlier, and we would have been a year ahead of schedule. Instead, here we are. This is just me bitching now. Here is the Trump filing. Hence, defendants further move to remand the district court for consideration on whether the disqualified special counsel may lawfully transmit the final report. And if so, what material in the final report must be protected, at the very least, while the criminal case is pending. Defendants' requested ruling date is January 10th, 2025, to prevent irreparable harm from the anticipated action by the disqualified special counsel. Defendants moved quickly to file this motion as soon as they learned of the contents of the final report, which tells you that the Trump lawyers already have access to this confidential, classified report. It seems it would be within the rules of evidence and the rules of the court to allow this, but I'm going to play this very brief clip for you, about a minute and a half or so, on Caitlin Collins last night, where she had a former federal prosecutor on to talk about this. And it is remarkable the lengths to which the Trump team thinks they can extricate themselves from the same rules that the rest of us would be subject to. Watch this.
Breaking news, as we have just learned from a filing that Donald Trump's attorneys and attorneys for his allies have now reviewed special counsel Jack Smith's report that he is preparing to publish as soon as in the coming days. My legal source tonight is the former federal prosecutor, Elliot Williams. Elliot, we had you booked on something totally different, but this came down, and we're reading through this, and I'll talk about why this filing happened. But big news here is that Trump's attorneys and attorneys for his allies have gone in, and it says from January 3rd to January 6th, so over this weekend, to review a draft of the report that we knew Jack Smith was planning to publish before Biden leaves office.
Right.
But now this filing is coming from John Irving, other attorneys, Stan Woodward, who just got a job in the Trump administration, I should note. They represent the other two co-defendants in the classified documents case. They seem to have an issue with the report overall, but specifically with Jack Smith issuing part of a report on the classified documents case, since one, it was thrown out, and since two, it still is going up against these two co-defendants.
Right, but the evidence, well, let's back up. The whole point of a report is that per law, in U.S. law, when there's a special counsel, the special counsel by law submits a report to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General can choose to make that public. Now, all of these matters that Jack Smith is investigating would necessarily have made their way into a final report. Those are investigations of the former president, both in Washington, D.C. and in Florida. These defendants in Florida just don't like that their names, I think, are appearing in this report. And that's a little bit perplexing because we knew that evidence was going to appear in Jack Smith's report.
What they're avoiding here is more scandal, more headlines, more of this being in the public eye relative to the corruption, the rampant corruption of Donald Trump and the people who surround Donald Trump. That's what's going on here. Donald Trump doesn't want all of the evidence that they have that we want to see because we're owed it. He doesn't want it to see the light of day. So then we have a more fulsome picture of exactly what went down relative to his obstruction and the underlying crimes. That's what's happening here. They don't want their names on the report. Irreparable harm they're talking about. We already know your character, you dipshits. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below in the comment section. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me all the time, daily at Dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work. I believe it's important. I think you also believe it's important, especially in today's day and age. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I am all over the internet, not just here, but on social media at Dollemore. I'd love to see you if you're already on social media. Don't go signing up for social media to follow my dumbass. At Dollemore is where you can find me, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.